fleet, we're starting to see these small groups to come in now that we have the kind of the drone lands free area for small groups that the Imperium has set up, and there's some agreements with fraternity to let those people have some fun, see what develops. So what are we going to do? Now we're going to bring everything home, and there'll be more pings about that. And for the next month, we're going to concentrate on making ISK and having fun, which is, a great place for Brave to be. So one thing I wanted to do with this opportunity is give a warm welcome to all the new Bravelings that have joined, whether it's with two of our new corporations, including Soft Paws with Claws and remaining an assault unit, or all the members who are coming from anywhere in EVE or returning to EVE. So first of all, we're glad to have you, and I want you to find within Brave a way to maximize your fun per hour, because that's our big goal here. And so I'm going to ask all the old Brave members to make sure that you're extra welcoming in fleet, help people get situated with our services, learn about our wiki and our space, all those things, how our standing fleet operates, and just make sure that you're extra welcoming to new people and help them capture that fun. And then if they're looking to get more involved, help point them in a direction so we can harness that energy to make Brave even better. All right. So for our military status, we've had some questions on the beacon, which is kind of our Brave alert systems, similar to DEF CON. But of course, this is EVE in a game, so silly. But the beacon status has been 2 because we've had our death clones in CTAC-J. So we will, as we move our cat fleet back and our ships back to UALX, we are going to ask you to move your death clone back to UALX, and we will be going to Beacon 4. And there's been some questions about the exact definitions of the beacon status. So the history of Brave, we spend a lot of time on the defensive, and so the beacon status has been focused on like what kind of threats are we having, whether it's to our allies, to our borders, or at home. And there's been some questions about the exact wording. So once we're home and we've had some times, we'll look at that, because the next time we change the beacon status, that'll be really about us deploying and putting a lot of our military assets far away, similar to what we did here in November. But we really want to get into fights there as opposed to shooting unopposed structures. Though if there's trillions of unopposed structures to shoot, I think Brave, based on what we saw on drone lands, will show up for that as well. So if you are still in the drone lands right now and you are not in the GTAC-Q Keepstar, then you need to be reaching out to in the Help Me Move channel. That's #help-me-move in Slack, and we will make sure that everything. We want to get you to GTAC-Q if you need a sino or you need help. Make sure you're asking questions. Talk to your corp leadership. Don't go AFK, particularly if you're not in GTAC-Q. And then if you're in GTAC-Q, don't worry, we're going to get you across the regional gate, but don't go AFK. Wait till you're back to at least CTAC-J if you need to take a break due to holidays or whatever that is. So then once we do a little bit more to get everybody in CTAC-J, then you will see move fleets back home. And that is a Keepstar route, so it's less critical if you have something you need to do. But we'll want to bring our caps home, our primary caps home. If you have secondary caps, they can remain in CTAC-J. There's no need to YOLO any of these things. So reach out to your corp leadership, reach out in cap channels or in Help Me Move if you have questions about where your things need to be. So in December, we're not going to we're going to do things at home. We're going to take advantage of our space. We're going to try to take advantage of the winter events that are nearby in LoSec. And then we've got some cleanup and curse. You may have seen some pings today, and get in on this fleet. So you'll still see pings. You'll see pings if we need to respond to content within our space. So watch for those. Make sure you're still supporting the FCs. In terms of FCs, you may see some new names of and new FCs step up. Maybe they want to go on a roam. Maybe they want to do something fun in the winter events that we're really going to encourage. Make sure you give them an opportunity and try their fleets too. All right, that's a good transition. To space workers for me. So FCs and space workers are really the lifeblood of Brave. So I can communicate to you guys, and the leadership team can send out pings, but it really takes the FCs and individual space workers to make everything happen within Brave. Whether that's the dojo helping new players, or it's moving our caps around safely, or destroying all this stuff in drone lands. That really depends on volunteers stepping up, being a bigger part of their community. So, first of all, thank your space workers. If you went on one of those bash fleets with Zunum, Quinn, Sven, or Sea Empire, say thank you. They really appreciate it. And then also think about if there's something in Brave that you see could be done differently. Just make sure you reach out to leadership in that area, or if you're not sure who, you can DM me on Slack, and we'll try to get you more involved. Brave, I've said this a few times in my updates. We spent so long with the serious business of defending our space, and now we've hit a level of comfort and a major foe has lost, that it's really time to turn up to 11, the part of Brave that's just about having fun. And I'm gonna work with Kane, who helps run our shenanigans division or fun department, to make sure that we are rewarding that behavior. I want to see more propaganda. We've already really upped our production here with Graham's help, and Kane running the new YouTube channel. And I really want to see us capture that Brave spirit and show Eve how much fun we're having. With that, I do want to say a very special thanks to Kara Mabinar for his efforts as the head of infrastructure. In the last month or so, he's had some things in real life that he needed to address, and so he's stepping back. So Kara had a very successful tenure in terms of helping us in Delve, capturing all our infrastructure in Delve when we left Tenerifis and setting up Tenerifis. So without Kara's efforts, we wouldn't have been able to move everything so successfully when we did that. And so I think all of Brave owes Kara a huge thanks. And so if you see Kara come up in Slack, or just maybe everybody spam him in Slack and say thank you very much. And with that, so Yandu will be taking over his roles as the infrastructure lead. So thank you for Yandu for doing some more space work for us. And Yandu will be looking for help within Possible Boys and the infrastructure team to spread that load. So that's all the major updates I had today. And Kane's going to go over some questions with me. And if you have more questions, put them in Fleet Chat, and we'll try to capture them. And as a late tradition for me, we're going to try to give away some skins at the same time if we can get the tech worked out. If you've got a cap and you want to show off on stream, go ahead and undock it on the Keep Star, and we'll have that up here in the background. So with that, stay classy, have fun, and be brave.
Oh. Jinx, we need to redo something really fast. We need your famous Brave is Strong just again, because we had some technical difficulties.
Oh no. Please. Okay. Well, so the state of Brave is strong. And we can use that. We'll just rerun that whenever we need for Sota. So.
I mean, send 10 million ISK to Jinx and you get the ringtone for free. For 10 million. Okay, Jinx. We start with the usual nice, awesome questions to get a little bit introduction to. If I would ask you, what is your favorite Eve ship? What would be your answer? And now it's the evil question.
So, as the head of Brave, I have to answer Atron, but of course that is true. And I've actually been trying slowly over time to get the Atron up my most used ship list or the kills on Zkill. But it turns out when during World War B and the battles of 3 Tech D, I was flying a Hyena and target painting everything. It's just been so hard for me to get it up the list. But really, my favorite ship that actually brought me back to Eve was part of bringing me back to Eve. And when Brave first formed was the Venture, and so I think Venture is is my favorite ship. I've even been when I go mining, sometimes I'm in the Venture, even though it's not the most optimal. I've seen that we've got some. I haven't actually flown the new ships, but there's that new destroyer. I might have to try that out, but for now, it's still the Venture.
The Pioneer. Don't frame me on the T2 one. I need to Google that up. But I already saw people using it for PvP, and I already saw a lot of discussion how the T2 variant is be used. I think it has a nice resist profile, but it's a niche mining destroyer. Okay, then we come to the next one. I think you had Thanksgiving, kind of. Was it good?
Yes,
Was
yeah.
it great? Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so Thanksgiving in the U.S. So I hope everyone had a good meal. If you were in the U.S., I made a sweet potato with a ton of sugar and butter and pecans on the top. That's my favorite. It's actually a dessert, but you get to sneak it on the dinner plate because it's orange and it's a potato, but there's so much sugar and butter on it. It's a dessert. So, but you get to put it on that first plate.
Something learned. Nice. I love it. Yeah, in the rest of the world, I think we have the first of Advent. So that's where we start lighting the candles and then start celebrating the Christmas time. No, there's no coming a question, but this is the teaser. We had already asked for an armor. So you had time in Slack and other sources to post your questions. And we, of course, wrote them down and we will go through the list because not all of them were asked or answered in the Minnesota before. So if your question was not answered right now, you can use the fleet chat. People will look that up and then funnel the questions through me. Otherwise, keep it for now because we will start having the questions planned in and then we ask them and then you can see them. So, no worries. We come to the first question, and since Thronelands is now the new Thunderdome 2.0, people are asking what kind of PvP content we are allowed to do. Like, is there any limit or restriction what we should not do? You said already in the Sota that we give them some settle time, so we're not harassing their structures and stuff like that. But beside that, I think there are many opportunities of PvP we already can start heading out into this direction. Do you have any suggestions?
Uh, so right now they're setting up their infrastructure that we just got our fill of blowing up infrastructure. So there's no reason to go bash Metanoxes or other things. I think it would be best to let them kind of figure out the little mini borders within drone lands that they're going to do, and then once they're a little bit better set up, then this we could go. But if you fill them in over there with some friends, of course, get some content, shoot them. That's fine. If I wouldn't like set up a target over there and try to shoot them. If you've got old scores to settle with some of those groups, let's give them a little bit of time and then settle those scores.
That. So that means for now you don't do that. If you want to roam some ESSs, that I think is definitely in our favor. That's something you can do. If you're thinking about to do like an gate camp or something to get people moving infrastructure in, I would say let it rest for now. Just chill, give them time because that gives them more time to move more high stuff in, and then we can more of this stuff blow up. So they also have some fun experience. Then we had another question, and it is the closest enemy is Boss, Brotherhood of Spacers, and we already saw that they are moving around into this area as well. So, will there something change?
Yeah, so Boss is moving to the drone lands, and I know Nim well. He's close to me here in real life, and we'll have a beer sometime. So we're gonna let Boss get set up in the drone lands. And in terms of O Mist, that will become Imperium space. We don't have eyes on it ourselves, so we're still working with goons at Imperium about who exactly will hold that, but we're not looking to take it, and Boss is going to drone lands, like I said. And so really our closest enemies are probably over in our old stomping grounds of Quirius and then Pravi. And so making sure that we're saying hello to them and taking some fleets to them, giving them some content, getting some content for ourselves, I think is the best option, unless you're taking wormholes or filaments.
Okay, I see that I have the names of the people which asked the question. I should name them. So this question was brought by Mirsana Wisten. Hope I pronounce it correctly because I'm German and I'm very horrible in pronouncing. And the question before that, this was Frabnan. If I don't pronounce it correctly, send me a file how you pronounce your name and I will learn it for the next time. I think some people are eager for the skin spin. We do that in the background right now and writing some stuff. So we're just heading over to the next question and checking out our backline thingy to figure it out. The next question came from Ragnar Lodbrok, and it's about the mighty beacon. I already saw a lot of questions from the beginners and everything because they're like, "Oh my god, this beacon! I'm allowed to read. What should I do? I'm scared." Jinx, can you bring me in a safe harbor with the beacon? What's the plan?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, the Sota, we'll change it to 4. If somebody hasn't already done that on the wiki, it'll be changed soon. So that is a little bit. So this always happens when we have to change the beacon. So we become under attack, and someone's like, "Why isn't the beacon 2 or 1?" Or now the glassing is finished and people want to see the beacon. Really, we want to get people home. We are going to change it to 4 right now with the Sota. If it's not done by the end of here, I'll figure out how to change it. So really, the beacon is just supposed to give people a rough idea of how often things are going to happen. It doesn't restrict the FCs, and even during we saw when we're in Beacon 2, this is what we're asking you to do, and this is what we're trying to express. The current focus of Brave is. So again, we'll look at the exact wording of things. I think there was some confusion that 2 said we were might have said we were under attack when really we were the attacking force. So the next thing we'll see is more focused deployments coming up. And so we'll make sure that the beacon status shows that. So really, it's the lower beacon while we're here and relatively safe. Then the beacon status will reflect that a lot of our fighting force is focused on offensives, and you might not have as much standing fleet support.
Okay, what I heard is, like before we chatted about everything, we have some skins. So what we do is we head over to the Wheel of Skins and we will spin it.
Yeah, so we have these. I forgot to give them to somebody, but I've got like 20 of the copper kicking more skins that just came out with the Plex packs, and so we can give away 20 of those. So if you see your name, make sure you're writing those down, and we will give you some of those skins after the Sota. So Hoodie Buddy was the first one. So,
Okay,
so one thing, this is something I've done in the last few months, is try to join some fleets, say thank you to the members, give out some skins. We have some from Plex packs, but also if you have skins, there's event skins and things like that. If you have them and you don't want them, please contract them to me and I'll try to get them out. I try to give away skins that have to do with our doctrines or things that we're flying in the fleets. So if you're being generous, just go ahead and send those to my main.
okay, let me trigger that again. We
Yeah.
Give me the spin-off wheel again, and then spin it, please, 2 more times, just so people get the idea of that we can spin it more often. Spin it! Nice. Look how it turns around. I love it. If it's Hootie Booty again, then it's rigged. Nice. Write your name now. Wonderful. And then please spin it one more time, and then we head to the next question, because people are not here for the skins. They are here for the questions, I believe.
Yes, yeah. And my lamp left off for me. I realize I don't have the lighting on my face. I need to get the big ring light, so I'm nice and pretty like you, Kane. Yeah.
I put the no. I put the white Google sheet up the main monitor.
Oh, that's smart.
You bypassed that idea.
Let's see. Can I get
Because
myself
if I put it off, if I put it off, you don't see anything. It's getting dark.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
With the beacon status, I would say the next question with the beacon status is, of course, when can I move my my clone back? Like, when can we go from GC back to ULX? I think when we change the beacon.
Yeah, so when we change the beacon and you've moved all your ships, once you moved your ships back. The one thing is make sure you have a jump clone in CTAC-J, particularly while we're still getting people over, latecomers over the regional. And if you can help, if you've got a Sino that you can help move people back, that's great. So just don't like just bail on everybody else, but leave a jump clone. Just respond to pings as you can.
This question was sponsored by Anton Yuan. So, that's a good one, and it's a little bit complicated one. I think I saw the discussions, and we always have this discussion about that. It is about, oh wait, there was one question about, Do you see any status standing changes with the Hyperion over the next year? No.
So a
Jinx,
year
you don't see anything.
So a year is a really long time frame in Eve. You know, anything can happen. Like there's going to be some kind of summer patch, and they could just blow up the whole thing, and who knows. So a year is a really long time frame. But first of all, the Imperium has been really great allies to us, and we have just got to like a stable place that that we've been seeking to make sure that we can engage in all the content we wanted in Eve, to strike back at those who had kind of hunted us around the entire map for years and years. And so, you know, there's nothing in the immediate future that I see that we leave Imperium or change status. You know, the challenge for all the big groups, Imperium, Fraternity, and even Initiative, will be content within the next year. And so that's why we're really going to have to, for the first time, really make sure that we're deploying and seeking that content. It's not enough to just sit at home and find content.
You hear it here first. We stay blue with goons for now. Joking. Don't pinpoint me on that, please. The next question is that what I was reading before. Also, sorry, be in the timeline. This question was sponsored by Asric Scialo. The next question comes from Ark Strickpops, and he is asking, how far are we as brave from a capital umbrella like the Beehive or the Pancrab?
So the umbrella really that promises a save, and so that to be in a place that we can promise a save of particularly supers in space or even the ratting dreads, then we need to be able to put in numbers in fleets and in cover fleets similar to what you saw in that you see in Beehive, which we do have full access to, or Pancrab. The only other two groups that have that are the Flight Deck and Fraternity, and Initiative runs theirs. So what we really need to see is we need to see members training alts into Redeemers. When we will have things that we cover. We'll have moons that we cover. We'll let our FCs test different things. But before we declared something like an umbrella, then we would need to be prepared for all comers, anything that came out of a wormhole from any size group. And so that's really what we need. It's members, availables, and fleets, and making sure that we can form big enough and fast enough to respond to those threats before we could have an umbrella. Now, are we gonna use our capitals? Are we gonna test things out with our carriers here over the next month? Yes, definitely. But does that mean that you should be ratting in your super and expect to have 150 brave on you to save you from 150 kikis instantly? I don't think we're quite there yet, but I would love for Brave to prove me wrong. And as soon as Brave proves me wrong over the next year or so, then we can talk about the umbrella word.
Nice, you hit it here first. So if you want to have your first experience in something kind of an umbrella, you apply in Goons. And if you don't know how to do that, if you want to be in the Beehive, you probably already are in the CAPS group of Brave. I would say that's the first step you do. From there is a pinned message from me, which gives you access to where you find the other links. Because if you Google for Beehive, you don't find something. They called honeybees the signature. So, and there's also some information how you apply. For those who don't want to grab, you can be on the other side and you can drop redeemers. There's another sig called, don't pin me, don't know it, but it's written down. You can join them, and then ones of the bee guards, that's the BFCs, which running the beehive. If they ping one up, you join with your redeemer this fleet, and then you hop on their mumble, and then you be on standby if something happens, and then you can have your PvP experience. Blah, blah, blah. So, I know that people want to have more skins, so please give me the wheel of skins and spin it at least 3 times, because I see we need more giveaway of skins. Whee!
I see it's got a Brave wheel. My wheel doesn't have the Brave wheel in it.
We have people in the background which doing this. 1D Luna. Congratulations to your skin. Spin it again. I already done it. See. Love it. And something with a D again. Is it? No, it's green. Dominatar Plate. Congratulations, you got a skin. And then we spin it again, and then we head to another question. Then Jinx had enough time to drink. Like, we always pass the ball around so we don't get a dry throat, and then we can't speak anymore. Aye. Anton UN, the second skin. Did you pay some ISK to somebody that your name come up more often? We will not know. But if it happens
you can
3 times in a
remove.
row, yeah, we should. But then again, if it hits 3 times in a row, we do the same what we do in Monopoly. You go into prison. Just joking. It's okay. So, then we had on question because people asked a lot of questions. As Goon structures are removed from Brave space, is there plans to replace them with Brave equivalents? I think we already placed a lot of structures, but as more of Goons are going away, we probably have plans. I think that's something Yondu will pick up from Kara and have something. But before I answer your question, Jinx, that's your question. What is the plan? Do we replace them? How many keep stars do we get?
So we do have a keep star that we are looking to anchor in the meantime, which would be our second keep star here in Tenerifis. So watch for pings to support that, but that'll be after we have our caps home. We are looking at where exactly we put forts, where we can put and things like that. In terms of industry infrastructure, we are trying to keep that really in our core, just lessons learned from living other places at Eve, or even seeing in the drone lands of how much stuff is left behind. So my emphasis to the infrastructure team has we want enough infrastructure to make sure that we're fully taking advantage of our space, but we don't want to just throw things down for flags in space. It's much better for us to use that ISK and to engage members and to create content, because when it becomes if it becomes a fight, if we're fighting, we're gonna do what we've done in the past, and you're gonna have to concentrate on things right near UALX. So those Fortizars and Faith Ballast, those Fortizars that are 2 jumps away, those become even though a fort by itself is strong, without the fleets to support it, it's less strong. So we don't want to overspend. We don't want to have walls and walls of dead keep stars like we're seeing in the drone lands. If we get to a point where you have to pick and choose. But we will have infrastructure in our space to support what we need to do to make sure that members um, can move safely in space with capitals or with Titans. So if there's a particular system that you have particular reasons why you think it needs something, you can go to the upgrade requests channel or talk to just Yondu directly. But the upgrade request channel in Slack is a good place to have those conversations.
I mean, if you are a member and you have a keepster laying around and you want to have it in a certain space and be one of the dead walls because it's yours, uh, contact Yondu and tell him that you want to place it, and we're happy to assist you. There's no issue in that. Just tell us and we will help you. Don't do it on your own because then we get a little bit angry. But if you talk with us and speak with us, we can do that. Anyway, we talking about like blah 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 defense. Defense is always bad. Attacking is the best what we can do. Who is the next target? Is it Test?
So Test has moved. We don't know if it was forced or willingly into Geminate, which there's some nice NPC space there. There's some adjacent lowsec, and then there's other groups that are definitely on the list um, that have some nice opportunities for us to stage SIGs out of. So I don't want to declare exactly who's next, but we definitely have our list of favors to return, and Test is on that list.
Okay, since I missed the question, like, well, no, didn't miss the question. I didn't name Ashara Explorati for the question before that, and this time I didn't done it for Jorah Kamsi. So you name it. We need to put up the wheel of skins again, and we spin it 3 times again. And this time we press the remove button, or I'm not sure. We can keep it inside, but if Anton comes up again, we definitely remove him. That's the prison button. Habana Tiaka, congratulations for your skin. We will figure it out on the later, but you will get your skins. No worries. They are timeless. They don't rot. They existing, as all items in Eve. Keep that in mind for the market people.
You won again.
This
You won
rigged.
again.
This is rigged. Dominata Blade got another skin. Spin it again. And then keep it open and we spin it one more time. The mighty Saltdine. Nice.
All right, let's hit some questions, and he can spin it occasionally in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Like we can do it like this. What is the priority of the Alliance now? Do we build wealth, caps? What do we want to have? Fun. I think it's fun.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, fun is always number one. So one thing in terms of what we're doing at the alliance level. So with carriers becoming cheaper, we're definitely looking to make sure that we're taking advantage of their new capability and their price level. And as part of that, we need to make sure that we have members to call upon that have carriers. So if you are someone that can fly most of the subcaps or all the subcaps that you're interested in, we do want to see mains train into carriers after they can fly all the battleships. After you can fly something in every fleet, then we do want to see mains in carriers. If you have an alt that can be in a carrier, that's great as well. But the idea here is under a big defense, in a point defense, we still want to have that ball of carriers, and that's an area that has kind of been on the back burner, particularly with the carrier's price point before. But now that's a good goal to have. If you're still picking your first cap to have, a dread alt is probably still the best thing to do. We can form in a good time zone. We can form 50 dreads. If it was local, I bet we could even get close to 75, maybe approaching 100. But having dread alts, we want to have more than 100 dreads on call, I think right now on the perfect conditions on a weekend near UALX, we could probably do that. But we want to be able to project that strength too. And then carrier on the main is another priority. Later I think we're going to talk about priorities for people with less SP. But this is, why are we talking caps so much? Because really being in nullsec, we need to have, for the dreads, they call that the hammer of brave. Carriers, I guess, would be the anvil if we're going to continue on that example. So we want to be able to form big fleets of both together and be able to use that for brave.
Wonderful. Then, since this was another question from Asha Explorati, I will start telling you about the next question. In the meantime, you can put up the wheel of skin again, and I ask. So you can't do that. No worries. Okay, I need to spend some time. Like you don't hear what I hear in my ear, and I told my voice in my head that she is allowed to do that, and then I talking back to it like a psychopath. Oh God, how bad is that? Good question. Are we moving again? Jinx.
So are we moving again? No plans to move right now. It would take something really big and Eve to make us move. So that would be a complete change in the game, some huge patch in the summer, or some extreme major war or schism or something like that. So I don't have. That's not in the future right now. Now, in terms of like moving around, this is where we will test ourselves in terms of being able to deploy assets and be able to really make sure that we can get around the map and maintain our home here in UALX. Everyone,
I mean, the only
questions from
thing I
everyone.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can tell you to this is what you can do is from time to time is I call it a spring clean. So when you clean your house, you also do the same with your hangars and looking around where all your stuff's laying around, and then you put it a little bit together, check out if this hull is still required. Sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't float this ship for 5 months or something. Then don't repackage it. Like, tell you I had that ship for 5 months and now is the time which I try to actually finally get it into a nice explosion. Don't feed it, but get it into a nice fight and an explosion. What is a nice fight? If you have 4 friends, like CCP is doing it, grab your friends, make a video, roam in one direction, and see how long you can survive on a barghest. Depending on the size and the value of the ship, take some time. I still want to have the wheel of skins for 3 times, but then again, in the meantime,
I'll add on to you, Kane. Like one thing that past CEOs have said is pack light. We're in brave, and so I think that's a good philosophy for nullsec. And you saw this within Horde. People were they were in drone lands for 7 years, and then there was a major change overnight, and now they're really suffering for that. So do I think that we're at risk for anything like that in the near term? No. But like, do you really need to buy? Do you need to buy more Marauders than you can move? And so if you do want to collect all those ships, think about how you would move them. And if you can't, then maybe that should be your next goal. Is like, okay, well, I'm going to buy a bowhead so that I can move all these things, or I'm going to, now's the time. I'm collecting all these ships. I'm going to get my super so I can use the SMB. Things like, just have that in mind.
I mean, carrier got buffed. They have now the double size of how to say it of SMB, so you can store more into it. Spin it. Oh, look how it spins. And if you get close to the screen and focus the brave in the middle, we can try to give you some. How is it? I'm not sure how it's called in English. If you yeah, never mind, don't, you know what I mean. If you speak to people and says you're now a chicken, we do that, but you need to get very close to the wheel and then you need to focus it, and then we tell you crunch also nice. So let me think. In the meantime, this is spinning, so I can think about the next question. Let me say, no, no. are we expecting serious relation from the remnants of Horde? I mean, just give me one sentence, Jinx. I heard that we got around 100 members into different corps joining Brave from Horde. So we have now, I mean, a lot more people, which already like putting up fleets, dojo classes, and stuff like that. So they adapting the structure of Brave, and I'm super happy if these people give us feedback how we can improve on our stuff. Like I'm always says, I'm if they have something good, I'm happy to take everything what is good and then adapt to it and make it better. And I just keep the bad stuff away. And so we improve until we, I mean, you can't be perfect, but we can get to a point which we are very good. Jinx, what do you think? Could there be
So
something?
serious retaliation from Horde. So right now Horde is a similar size uh, to Brave, and they're in some kind of relationship with Initiative. There's definitely people within that have an axe to grind against Brave, but they need to figure out a lot of things internally where they're going to live before that they're really in a place to retaliate. Within PanFam, there's a lot of that is now in Winter Coalition. Are we going to see fights from them? Yes, and I think Brave is ready for that fight. And of course, we've got allies, and again, like the fight is why we play. So we invite all of this, and we'll fight it out with explosions in space.
I love it. Okay, then like this question was from Maina. The next question is also from Maina, and goons have the bee, Horde had the octopus, Shred has the panda. What would be the Brave mascot?
So we've had a number of mascots over the years. So I think a lot of people's favorite was Gigas. Gigex had given us the parrot, not Gigex, sorry, the artist, uh, CMEC. I'm forgetting his name. Somebody's got the comics on Reddit and can link it in Fleet. But we've had a parrot because we used to have the Parados, and we've had the parrots marching. So definitely a parrot. We've got Lefty Sock, of course, and we had Saki before that. Um, and then Brave has appeared as kind of like a brave ball in the past, and in recent comics from I think IGC or Dracarys, we've just been kind of a cute version of the X. Um, there's been some good graphics there. I think that's an opportunity for in propaganda to really embrace one of those things, and that's where one artist can really have a big impact. Personally, I'm probably partial to the parrot if I had to pick, and of course, well, and the other thing is now we've had the shrimps. The shrimps have really come into fashion. They've always been around. The man riding a shrimp, but the shrimps in Brave have come to are bubbling up. So maybe we could have a kind of a competition from artists to show for a mascot.
If you're
Dunk.
an artist,
Raven is called Dunk, our mascot. Dunk is welcome to come back as a mascot if he likes as well.
take it. I mean, so if you are an artist and you want to have an alternative version of a mascot, you can spin it up. We had a lot, and there will be one mascot will probably will stay forever. I mean, all the others already stay forever. We should have an revival of all of them and show them off again. We do that next time. Okay.
Yeah. So
I would
within our logo,
Mhm.
some people might not know this, and there's actually history on the wiki, I think. But the Brave X is actually lots of ships coming together, kind of like in a fleet formation. So that's what the different blue dashes are. So those could be Atrons, which is kind of like another mascot of ours, all coming together within our logo.
I got just a notification like they since I'm not sure if you knew that, but Jinx know it. Our YouTube channel got the first affiliate level, and Professor Posh done the first and ever super chat donation. So we got $20, and I would just say thank you. And then I hand it over to Jinx so he can also say thank you or whatever, because it's the first time.
Yeah, push. That's our first sticker. So I think near New Year's I'll be in your area, push, and so maybe I'll buy you a beer for being our first sticker purchase on YouTube and all your Diplo work. Um, um, that reminded me
No
of
worries.
something else. Uh, I do want to plug one thing, and we will get more information about this. So Goons and Karma Fleet and Rampage Inc. They're going to have a meetup in Washington D.C., which is near my backyard. It's just they're going to go to the wharf and just go to a ton of bars. There's not going to be any formal tickets or anything. I'm going to try to go to at least one night. I think Saturday night of that. So if you're in the East Coast or if you're stopping over, look into that. I'll put out more information within Slack.
There's the real life meeting. Okay. So now we head over to the fun questions, a little bit like not that serious. And it was from Manta Finch. What is the airspeed? Oh, a Monty Python one. What is the airspeed
Yes.
of an unloading swallow? Did I pronounce
African or
that correctly?
European or
Yeah,
Mar
exactly.
Galente. I don't know.
Jinx, what's your favorite color?
A blue, of course. You know, you're gonna have the brave
You
blue.
can pass.
Yeah.
Next one is from Jorah Kamsi. Can you sneeze with your eyes open?
No,
Do we
and I
do we
have those
close the eyes?
painful. I do. Sneezing while driving is
It's,
dangerous. Don't do that.
ooh. I mean, if you close the eye, yes. Okay. Let me funnel into my backstory line in my head. Let me check up. My head. Do we had questions in the fleet chat or on YouTube which we need to answer, but I didn't saw? I will teleport this question into my head and then I give it another 5 seconds. In the meantime, since this is running, oh, I know it's the same person in my head. Can I have the wheel of spin again? Should there be no questions? We're just gonna spin the wheel. Otherwise, put the question down right now in the chat so my head can spin the wheel. And then after spinning the wheel, we can get that maybe on stream. Otherwise, we continue to some other stuff. 1D Luna Luna. I saw this name already. It's ooh, a Jinx. That's fancy.
I was
Mm.
looking for Lefty Sock, but couldn't find it. But I did find my Megatron. This is not a doctrine leak. Or
You heard it here first. Megatron is coming as the new doctrine. Lee Scope, the next one which got a skin. Okay. Chip, 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 chip. Yeah, the usual one. So I coming to this. Sorry, I'm already speaking again with myself. People, I'm sorry. I get to that. Jinx, I wanted to ask you some other stuff, and that's about if I'm joining Brave as a new player. What should I do if I'm in this big alliance in Nullsec and I'm just started in HighSec? I'm limited on SP, and I have no idea. What would you
so if,
suggest?
if if you're brand new to Eve or if you're just returning to Eve and you've got no ships, the first thing I would do when you join Brave is just get to UALX and we'll help you get set up. Even if you just have a very little ISK, that's fine. You can leave assets behind in HighSec or wherever you're at. You could try to sell them just to get a little liquid. But really, we want to get you out into Brave, and then we can support you with the dojo and other new programs that we have to make sure that you always have a ship to fly, whether and to how to make ISK or to fly in standing fleet. There should never be if you're new to Eve. We can give you as many ships as you need, ships or ammo, and we want to get you engaged. So make sure you're taking advantage of all our new player programs. So the first, the first 100 mil that you earn, the first billion you earn in Eve is always the hardest. And sometimes I see players want to challenge themselves to do it themselves. But like Eve is um, you're going to have a really hard time. And there's an old comic where it shows like the learning curve of Eve is just this giant cliff. So let us give you ladders to get up that cliff. Make sure that you're engaging into the real content in Eve that we want to share with you. uh, Find a way to make ISK that's fun for you. So lots of people have optimal ways to make ISK, but find something that's engaging to you to make ISK. And then find roles within PvP, join fleets, learn things, ask tons of questions. So that's what I want new players in Brave really to be.
I mean, we have the home defense SLP. So if you're a new player and you have limited amount of money, you get a limited amount of PvP ship. And if this PvP ship should die, you apply to home defense SLP. Otherwise, I would say join the dojo classes if you want to learn something. Check the wiki, ask people about what they do for crabbing. I have in my head that we are planning to do a dojo class with different kinds of what's the ratting experience. If you want to, Jinx, what is the ultimate ratting right now? What do you know about that? The end point of ratting. Don't say crab beacons. We don't do that in our space. But before that, what can we do? Do you have an idea?
So that's a hard question. So I do have to so I did a lot of Ishtar ratting and just doing that over time. I would make ISK. I was just going to do this on the side. I know some people are doing Marauders or doing the filaments, but I'm not doing a ton of that right now, so I'm not the best person to answer what the optimal is. I know on the wiki that we do have a suggested wiki ratting chain, and then we're working on YouTube to always have guides. But most of the time, I try to spend my time making sure that Brave is organized and Brave is doing things to have fun and not ratting. So sorry, I'm not up to date on my on my best ratting ship right now.
I mean, I can help you a little bit. As a dojo teacher, I'm, of course, the endless source of knowledge and wisdom. So, the good point what you said is with the abyssals. That's really nice because if you do abyssals, you actually learn PvP because you need to learn how to avoid damage from a battleship in a frigate, for example. So you learn stuff on that. This is very nice. And if you go to T6, blah, blah, it's get very expensive. On the other side, Jinx, if you want to try it out, the end game currently is smart bomb rating again. Like everything comes again in Eve, yeah. So we had in between that we had a lot of Thunderchild stuff and that and everything, which run really fast. And it looks like what I got from Standing Fleet and other sources, people are heading back to a version of smart bomb rating with Thunderchilds or just smart bomb rating because we have the fleet formation warping. So once you have set up your smart bomb ships in a very nice whatever, you can warp to the side and they stand already in a perfect position, which means we can, if you're a new player, now you have your target, yeah, capital, stuff like that, get your wealth. Then you go for Marhariel with smart bomb setup, which is like 3 bill a ship. So you already have a price tag. But in between, we also have the intermediate players, which are already grown up as, let's say, they are not newbies anymore. They have maybe made their first billion, maybe they have more, like they have their first capital, like the first threat, and then, of course, the spare threat, because you always need 2 if the first one explodes. What should they do? Where should they aim? I mean, we are very PvE focused. We should like have one eye on rock rolls, but let's see. Jinx, what's your opinion?
So the intermediate. So this is where I think Eve can really become a bigger game. And so for me, this really hit when I got my second character for me. So I would say that was about 3 months. My first time in Brave, I spent a ton of time training, and I was at frigates and everything, and then I had to step away from the game. I came back, and when I 3 months in, I got my second character, and I got into industry on just that character. that's really where Eve became bigger to me. That I could concentrate on PvP on my main and industry on the second character, and also that's where getting involved in space work. That's when I joined the dojo, and then later the Blueprint program, and really when I was engaging members and being more of a multiplier. I'm no longer just the one ship that I bring to F1 and Fleet. Now I'm teaching people how to do E-War. Now I'm teaching people how to do Logi, and being that multiplier, that's ended up being what really made Eve hook into me, and how I went from a line member who didn't have a mic in standing fleet in 2013 to somehow running the alliance here in 2025.
I mean, that's awesome to hear. That's the way. So that means like if you're an intimate player, you do your PvE stuff, your marketing stuff, your industry stuff, and all of that, and you probably already have like set up small kind of groups you interact with. The next thing is to maybe acquire a small space job within Brave. I think we are super happy to have more people in the leadership direction, like in every class and everything. You don't need to hop on the Jinx level directly and be an Alliance lead. That's a hard going up, and it probably will burn you out because you need to learn to protect you a little bit. Also, it's a lot of time. So you have
And
this
like even
option.
so
Hmm?
so even for being like a fleet commander, a lot of people think they need to that there's a ton of stepping stones to do before they become a commander. And really in Brave, we want you to have, you're allowed to ping. We provide SRP, we provide incentives to help push you off and try your wings out, because there's really not much that can prepare you for FCing except for FCing. So if that's something that's in your future, just really question, like, do you really have to complete all those steps, or um, or can you just let me push you off the ledge a little bit and ping a fleet and try it, and then you get hundreds of millions of ISK just for trying. And if it's not the thing you wanted, hey, at least you're a little bit richer and you tried something.
I mean, yeah, you can only say no if you have to try, if you have it tried out. Before that, you only have the experience from the others, and every FC has his own touch. So everybody does it a little bit different. And I mean, as we have the Atron as our brave ship, I think an Atron fleet is very devastating if everybody gets on top of a target and then applying the blaster damage. That's a hell lot of damage for a T1 frigate. Um, but I know that in Brave we have new players, yes, and we have to focus on that. But we also a home base for a lot of returning veterans. So I would say returning veteran, that's the one which we would consider as advanced players. The ones like you don't need to be having a super, but before that there are many steps in between. Like you can have 5 carriers and 5 treads and be a powerhouse of mining and running your Indo destruction or running your own indie park. I mean, there's a lot of people, but if we now speak to the advanced player, Jinx, what do no wait, what do we want from them and what can they do in Brave? I mean,
Uh,
yeah.
so one thing, particularly an advanced player that doesn't have who's active, and we have a lot that are with Brave and that come and go. It's great, but for an active advanced player, that's where really we want you to look at the alliance asset level of things, which is like the Titans. So one thing that we're working with our corporations with is that, like, with the move to Delve, we found that some corporations didn't have access to a Titan. So we're trying to make sure that all our corporations have access to a Titan for those times where you need to move. Also, our fleet commanders, they need bridgers. And so, like, those corporations that have Titans will be able to bridge um, our fleets. And so those advanced members, if you're engaged, if you've got the ISK, we definitely always need more Titans. When we have these big with these big brawls that we kind of expected to happen in the new year before Pan Phantom's collapse, we want there to be a really good Titan super fleet. And but those things do take an advanced player. It's personal, a ton of personal investment. Our SRP for those is currently a sticker pack. If you lose that, then I will ship you a nice uh, sticker pack of brave stickers. So it does take a truly brave individual to drop those in anger. So that's something that we really need from our experienced players. Other than that, it's just making sure that you have access to the doctrine ships that our fleet needs. When we do deployments, making sure that you're getting involved in any of those SIGs or those deployments, that you're helping others get engaged, and so that we can project our strength and grow the new members. Because I think a lot of the things the advanced members want to see, they want to see the high SP doctrines. They just kind of using their influence and their what they have, they can really um, multiply our strength. So that's what I want from their advanced players. Is it's really make sure that you are using your position to bring others up to your level.
Like that. So I will now do a small, short, my own announcement. I need, if you do content, new beginners, intermediate, and also advanced, if you create content and you're doing something and you're capable of recording it, please record it and give me something back to the dojo and I will funnel a video out of it. For example, if you are a beginner and you start vexor rating, if you do a 10-minute video explaining what you struggle with vexor rating and something, I am happy to take that. If you give an idea of how you planned your future PvE stuff from a new pro perspective, I take that. If you are intermediate or a veteran and you do something crazy, or you, no, not crazy, you do the normal stuff, and you want to show off, I'm happy to take these videos. We pay 400 mil per video. On the other side, what we do is, if you are very skilled and you want to have how to say it, a stone forever in Brave, I want to archive all the dojo classes as possible in a nice way. Usually we don't need a PowerPoint and stuff like that. It's nice to have. I say it's like a cheat sheet because I can't have everything in my head. But if you're just holding a dojo class for 20 minutes, explaining how you do a bomb run, and you don't want to have a PowerPoint, you still will have something written down which shows what to do, how to bomb, what to point out, like a guideline how to go through something. And that makes it easier for other FCs, or not FCs, but dojo teachers, to pick that up and have the class. Like, I would be happy to have every week a bombing class to provide our Black Ops 6 more people which are able to have bomb runs. And then we also able to have the kind of bookmarks shared and everything. And then people see a 40-man init fleet coming in, for example, with Kikis or something. And then they just form 7 bombers, for example. And if they MVD around the gate, they already know how to bomb. It's hard to explain it when stuff is happening right now because it's too much. And if I explain it and you not fully understand which button you need to press, you will probably have an issue, and then your ship explodes. And you will not be happy. Maybe you are happy because it was a fun time, because your bomb actually launched and you hit something, but then you died. But I would love to have the full Black Ops experience with you guys, which means you bomb, and then we warp off and we don't look at explosion, because cool guys don't look at explosions. That's the bomber life. We cannot have that all the time. Sometimes we need to look at the explosions twice, first of the bomb, then of our bomber. But we need these classes more often. Okay, that's enough talking from me. Thank you very much that I could have you as a guest. Never mind, you now have your own stage with your last thoughts about that. I'm heading off. Thank you very much. This is Jinx for you now. He has now the big screen time. Bye bye.
All right. So one special thanks to Graham and our new Brave Broadcasting Bureau and the very high quality that we have here, as opposed to my, thrown together OBS stream. Unfortunately, I think you did lose out on the ASMR sounds of my leather jacket. So you'll have to go to the old Sotas to hear that. But I'm super thankful for the team here and taking this time with you. So again, during December, I really want you to think about how you can have fun, take advantage of the winter event, support our FCs, make some ISK, and we did really well over the last month, and we're going to make sure that we encourage content, that we are making propaganda, and you'll see incentives and other things, because making Brave the best possible place to be in EVE is my goal, and I'm going to do everything we can to demonstrate that to you, and then we'll get into some more fun in January. So if I don't talk to you before then, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, and finally, stay classy, have fun, and be brave.